Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. We're at the Javits Center in New York City. This is AES 2019, Thursday morning. It's actually before the show doors open, and we're getting an advanced look at one of the coolest products here at the show, the SSL Origin. This is Fady, the man who wins the award for the coolest jacket at the show. You're looking good, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
So we wanted to give you guys a preview of what's coming in March. We call it the Origin. This is a brand new SSL mixer. A lot of people who are familiar with SSL are going to look at this and they're going to say, oh my goodness, they've finally done what they did so well with the 4000, the inline design of the original 4000. Of course, we're 15 years later, a lot of new advancements have come along. So, and those advancements are definitely reflected in this desk. So fundamentally, we've had to go to the drawing board on a lot of the components themselves, right, since ICs are no longer available. So we went to FET Technologies and we designed our own transistor based systems. So starting specifically with this new microphone pre, we call it PureDrive. PureDrive is the idea of having a microphone be a clean, low noise microphone preamp, and then press a button that says drive on it and implement all of these wonderful harmonics that we've had from our earlier microphone preamps. So if somebody wants to actually drive the desk or make it bend, as a lot of people would say, you can easily do that either on the microphone pre or on the returns from the digital workstation. Right. Each channel has a direct out, of course, because that's where most people like to work today. They go right to the A to D converter. That input can actually be fed from the small fader or the large fader, which is a typical workflow. You can go DAW to DAW from the small fader, from DAW into the large fader, and have a nice, easy way to monitor everything. Zero latency, of course. Every one of those inputs has its own insert point. That's pre or post. There's a lot of routing wonderfulness about this. The EQ can be brought into whatever signal path you want. It could be before or after the insert. It could be in the main fader or the small fader before or after the insert. There's individual inserts as well on the small fader. And there's this little homage here to the digital workstation user who likes to do their own automation in the DAW, and they just simply want to render everything at unity gain. Rather than to have to reset all the faders, you hit the 0 dB button, and that takes the fader right out of circuit. Nice. Makes it real simple. And this is one of my favorite portions of the desk because you can literally design it however you want. This is the master section of the desk, and notice it's 19-inch based, 19-inch rack based. So it can be moved up or down. So if you want to put a keyboard right here, you could. You can put your mouse over here or your trackpad. You can move it down this way, put a 500 series chassis of your choice and your choice of 500 modules. We've, of course, put our own Black Series dynamics. And of course, if somebody wants to put a flat screen display and that blocks those meters can actually be moved down, and you could put a flat screen display right there. And of course, we went with. I know a lot of people asking about the EQ, so I wanted to make sure I go into that. This is the 242 series EQ. So we used to call this the Black Knob series. It was the most popular EQs. Even after we went into the G series console, people always asked us to put that circuit into the console. So we made sure that original wonderfulness is definitely in this desk.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. So there's so many really cool features here, and you went through a ton of them, but a couple of the other ones that really jumped out at me is that you kind of arranged the order of the channel strip to be very ergonomic as well. You moved the EQ down versus other ones.
Excellent point. Yeah, one of the things that a lot of people were asking us was how hard it is to actually go up and reach for those EQs, and because people today go to the EQs first, moving them down here made a lot more sense. So that made a lot of sense. Of course, we didn't skimp on the cues. We kept the cues exactly the way people want them. You got 2 stereo cues for your fold back, so you can have a me mix and a band mix, for example. And if you want more cues, you have the 4 additional mono ones just below that that can be set up to be pre-fader. And all of that, of course, feeds into the the talkback system that you see here. So you've got your two foldbacks you can communicate individually to. You also have a microphone, I should say, so that you can communicate with the studio. Speaking of which, actually, this talkback microphone here has its own separate discrete listen mic compressor, in addition to the listen mic compressor that is on the listen microphone for the studio, which, by the way, you can actually patch out away from the microphone, use it as an extra effects processor. Right. A lot of people who remember the Phil Collins drum sound remember that really compressed drum sound. So sure, you can basically drop that right in. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. There's so much cool stuff here. Another one of my favorite features is you guys have a blendable solo on this. Yes. So when you go into solo mode, you don't have to just hear the instrument. You can blend it with some of the background and get a little bit of context while you're working on it.
Yeah, that's actually, SSL used to have this roundtable in New York AES a while ago where all these wonderful engineers, a lot of them huge names in the industry, would come up with these great ideas. And this one idea has survived a long time and is still a favorite on a 4000. And the idea behind it was, why just solo out that one element? You might want to hear a little bit of the background in context with that. So you can actually blend that right in.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And this is an all analog console. Yes. There's no digital at all, certainly in the signal path. And you're actually set up with 16 subgroups here, which is a little different than the way some of the other the busing is set up here. But it's ideally suited for a studio where you're working with a DAW and you're tracking and you're mixing and having all the extra inputs and everything be so controllable right from the center. You have such a very powerful matrix for routing here with those subgroups and things. Really a well thought out console that, of course, has the SSL sound. I mean, what more could you ask for, right?
That's what you want. Yeah, that's what we wanted to provide the client. Like I said, it's still a sought after design, and we wanted to meet the demands with modern technology and, of course, modern workflow specifics to the digital workstation owner. So we weren't forgetting about the DAW user. As a matter of fact, you could integrate a Sigma right into this if automation is necessary, and you'd be able, for example, to automate those groups right inside your digital workstation using the Delta plugin. So nothing is out of the ordinary here. It's typical SSL. Yeah.
Right. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's so exciting. I was telling you earlier that we've had a lot of requests for videos on this. So we're very excited and very grateful that you came in early today before the show opened to give us a tour here, because this is really incredible. Super excited about it.
We're really excited to see everyone's reaction to it. The first day has been phenomenal. People are amazed. We're doing this at $49,999, and people's eyebrows are like, how are you doing it? Well, you know, we're much larger. We're part of a much larger firm now, and that's affording us a lot of flexibility in efficiency of design and efficiency in manufacturing. And of course, we can't skimp on our quality control. That is our brand. So this is still assembled in the UK. It's still tested in the UK. The components are built in China. And the combination of the two really make for an efficient, inexpensive way to provide a really efficient, wonderful desk.
Absolutely. It's absolutely brilliant. I have no other word for it. It's brilliant. Super excited about it. This is the Solid State Logic Origin. Checking it out here at AES 2019. We're with Fady from SSL. It's Thursday. We have a whole day of show to show you today, as well as more tomorrow. Lots going on. Be sure to check in all our social media. Visit us at sweetwater.com, our InSync blog. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Thanks for joining me at the Javits Center in New York City.